In a world where control has become synonymous with success, it's no surprise that many people feel constantly overwhelmed. Whether it's the pressure to succeed at work, in relationships, or even with personal goals, we often find ourselves tightening our grip on things, trying to manage every detail. Yet, as counterintuitive as it may seem, the ancient philosophy of Taoism teaches us that true mastery lies in letting go. Letting go of control, letting go of outcomes, and letting go of excess in life allows us to flow with the natural order of the universe. It is through this release that we find strength, peace, and fulfillment. Control in the modern world. Look around, and you'll see it everywhere. Control is king. From governments keeping tabs on citizens through surveillance systems to workplaces where employees are micromanaged, modern life feels like a constant struggle to assert control over everything and everyone. This control, however, often leads to resistance, rebellion, and stress. The irony is, the more we try to control things, the more they slip out of our hands. For example, think about how governments use technology to keep people in check. At face value, this may seem like a logical way to ensure societal order. But Taoism, which originated in China, the same country that developed one of the most controlling systems in the world, the social credit system, offers a different perspective. It advocates for harmony, simplicity, and most importantly, going with the flow rather than resisting it. As Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism, wrote, "Mastery of the world is achieved by letting things take their natural course. You cannot master the world by changing the natural way." This means that life, much like a river, flows effortlessly when we stop fighting it. In our day-to-day lives, we are so preoccupied with controlling the outcome that we overlook the beauty of the present moment. The art of letting go, a practical approach. At first, the idea of letting go can feel like giving up, but in Taoism, it's a refined form of wisdom. Letting go isn't about being passive or weak. It's about recognizing when action is unnecessary and when to step aside so that nature can take its course. Imagine planting a tree. You can plant the seed, water it, and make sure it gets sunlight. But if you were to constantly fuss over it, trying to help it grow, you'd likely end up doing more harm than good. In Taoism, this concept is known as wu wei or non-doing. The power of non-doing. Wu wei can be described as effortless action. It doesn't mean sitting idle and doing nothing, but rather knowing when to act and when not to. For instance, in relationships, we often try to control the emotions and actions of our partners. We may push too hard to mend things after a disagreement, or we may try to fix them when they don't behave in ways we expect. But much like a tree that needs space to grow, relationships thrive when we allow them to breathe. Attraction is another example. It can't be forced or controlled. We might be able to present ourselves in the best light, but if we try too hard, the natural flow of attraction is disrupted. Letting go, in this case, doesn't mean giving up on someone. It means creating space for feelings to develop naturally. The Taoists believed that allowing things to unfold on their own produces the best results, and this principle can be applied to almost every aspect of life. Embracing change. Taoism is deeply rooted in the understanding that change is inevitable. Life is a constant flux between opposites, joy and sorrow, light and dark, success and failure. Clinging too tightly to any one state is futile. Just like trying to swim against a river's current will only exhaust you, resisting life's changes causes unnecessary suffering. Take the analogy of a river. Some people cling to a rock, afraid to be carried away by the current. They don't trust the natural flow, so they hold on tightly, not realizing that the river is moving forward regardless. In doing so, they miss out on life's opportunities and joys. In contrast, those who embrace the river's flow move effortlessly with it, trusting that they'll end up where they need to be. Many of us resist change because it's uncomfortable, but Taoism teaches us that discomfort is part of life's natural rhythm. Instead of fighting change, we should flow with it. In fact, I've found that some of my most profound personal growth has come during times of unexpected change. There's a Taoist saying that the living are soft and yielding, the dead are rigid and stiff. To live fully is to remain flexible, adaptable, and open to transformation. Not focusing on outcomes. Much like Stoicism, Taoism warns against placing too much emphasis on future outcomes. In today's world, it's easy to become fixated on results, the next promotion, the ideal relationship, or financial success. While ambition isn't inherently bad, it becomes problematic when it pulls us away from the present moment. When we focus too much on the future, we often overlook what's right in front of us. Take, for instance, the story of a skilled archer mentioned in Taoist teachings. When the archer competes for a simple reward, he performs with ease. However, when the stakes are raised and the prize becomes more valuable, his focus shifts from the act of shooting to the outcome. This shift in focus causes him to falter, and he performs poorly. The lesson here is simple. When we become too attached to a result, we lose the ability to perform at our best. I've personally seen this in my own life. Whenever I'm too focused on where I want to be, whether it's in my career or personal life, I often feel anxious and stressed. But when I immerse myself fully in the present, I'm not only happier, but also more productive. The Taoists encourage us to trust that the future will unfold as it should, as long as we give our best in the present moment. Letting go of excess. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with messages that more is better. More money, more status, more success. But the pursuit of excess often leaves us feeling empty. Lao Tzu teaches us that moderation is key. By letting go of the need for more, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. One of the most profound lessons from Taoism is learning to ask ourselves, what do I truly need? Zhuangzi, a prominent Taoist philosopher, illustrates this point through the story of a bird that needs only one branch to nest and a mouse that needs only a bellyful of water to be satisfied. Similarly, we too can find contentment by focusing on what is essential and letting go of the rest. In my experience, I found that minimalism not only declutters my physical space but also my mental space. When I stop striving for excess, I feel lighter, more at peace, and more attuned to what truly matters. As Lao Tzu wisely said, those who use moderation are already on the path to the Tao. Conclusion. Lessons for modern life. In a world that encourages us to constantly strive for more, Taoism reminds us of the power of letting go. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting in the natural flow of life. Whether it's in our relationships, careers, or personal goals, Taoism teaches us that we don't have to control every outcome. By practicing non-doing, embracing change, focusing on the present, and letting go of excess, we can live more harmoniously with ourselves and the world around us. This ancient wisdom is not only timeless but also incredibly relevant in today's fast-paced, high-pressure world. Taoism offers a way to find balance and peace in the chaos, showing us that true power lies not in control, but in our ability to let go.